Welcome to the Job and Internship Fair Success Tactics webinar. This session will provide information on suggested resources and techniques to help you prepare for the fair and ways to increase your effectiveness while at the fair. The page numbers referred to on each slide refer to the pages in the I'm Going to the Fair packet that you were given at the time of registration. This packet is also available on the Job Fair page of the Career Development Center website. If you have further questions after watching this presentation, you may want to schedule an appointment to meet individually with a career counselor to discuss your specific questions or concerns. The website address and phone number are listed on the slide for further contact information. This presentation will include information on the following topics: what you will gain by attending the fair, preparing for the fair, what to do and say while meeting with employers at the fair, and suggestions for follow-up after the fair. There are a variety of reasons to attend a job or internship fair, with the most obvious being getting offered a job or an internship. It is unlikely that you will receive an offer the day of the fair, but you will gain from other experiences while participating. This unique venue will provide a time when you can have face-to-face contact with a large group of employers who all choose to attend the event and devote time and resources to meet with potential employees. The face-to-face contact at the fair will offer you the opportunity to develop and improve your networking skills while mingling with the employers at the open booth session. Be sure to gather business cards and keep them for future reference and follow-up after the fair. The fair also gives you a chance to collect company literature and information about possible occupations or career fields within each organization to help you discover organizations that would hire employees with your academic background and skill set. Participating in the fair gives you a window into your competition in the job market. Students from all the private colleges in Minnesota will be attending, so you can see firsthand what they're wearing and their resumes. As difficult as this may seem, it is a reality of what is taking place behind the scenes via emails and phone calls. Participating in the fair will give you a reason to start or further develop your search for an internship or job. If you prepare in advance and use the services and resources of the Career Development Center, our research shows that you increase your odds in getting selected for an interview and a possible offer. Using the services and resources will boost your confidence throughout the search process. Lastly, the fair may provide an offer for an internship or job. Students do report success with contacts they made at the fair, even months after the fair has occurred. Pay attention to fair follow-up later in this presentation. Preparing prior to the fair is more than half the work. Once you have prepared, attending the fair is easy. Employers will want to know more about you and what makes you stand out from the other students who are at the fair. Each of the topics listed will be discussed in more depth on the following slides. The page numbers refer to the pages in your I'm Going to the Fair packet that you received when you registered for the fair. Use that guide as your reference throughout your preparations for the fair. You will need to think about yourself and know something about the companies to make your time at the fair most productive. One part of preparing for the fair is to know yourself. You should be able to describe your skills, interest, values, and personality style to the employers. They will expect you to have a 30-second elevator speech ready to introduce yourself during the open floor session. Use the handouts on pages 4 through 10 in the packet to assess yourself and learn terminology to describe how your background and experiences are related to the organization or positions. For more in-depth assessments, schedule an appointment to meet with a career counselor and take one or more of the standardized inventories. In addition to describing your skills, interest, and personality style, it is also useful to name career fields or jobs of interest. Some organizations will post the positions for which they're recruiting, but you should also be able to inform employers of your career interest. While at the fair, you can shop for jobs with organizations that are not actively recruiting for positions of interest in your career field. This is your opportunity to uncover the hidden job market, to discover future possible openings. Employers do not want to hear that you're flexible and willing to do anything. They want to know what your focus is and your intended career direction. Use the handout and worksheet on pages 11 and 12 to guide you in your research. Employers and students who have participated in the fair both highly recommend that you know something not only about yourself and career fields, but also about organizations participating in the fair. Pages 13 and 14 offer hot tips on what to research and resources to use. Make note cards when researching and bring the cards to the fair for quick reference before approaching an employer. Use them as your cheat sheets. An example of a note card is found on the bottom of page 13. You will notice that items 10 through 12 on the card will be completed at the fair once you have spoken with a representative. The website listed will provide links to companies and organizational information. Another great resource that is available for free on campus are the reference librarians. They will provide individual assistance to guide you in the best databases for your search. Page 14 was compiled by one of the reference librarians to assist students in their company research. A professional resume is always an important tool when conducting a job or an internship search. The resume is your introduction and often the first step that leads to an interview. To get your resume ready for the fair, use the resources outlined on the top of page 15 that are offered by the Career Development Center. It is not necessary to use all the resources, but pick one or two that best suit your current needs. Once your resume is ready, you can post it on the Minnesota Private Colleges Fair website for employers to access. You can also email your resume with a cover letter in advance to express an interest in scheduling a prearranged interview. You need to bring many copies to the fair that are on resume bond quality paper. Sending letters and resumes to employers of interest prior to the fair shows that you have initiative, and you may be offered to schedule an interview prior to the fair. Cover letters at the fair are not necessary. Tell me about a time when you demonstrated leadership. Describe a team you've been part of and what your role was on that team. These are examples of behavioral interview questions that you may expect when meeting with employers. Learning to talk about yourself in a professional, succinct format is the key to acing the job interview. Be ready to tell stories about your past experiences to demonstrate your transferable skills and show the employer you are the right candidate for the position. The Career Development Center offers a wide range of services to assist you in learning more about professional interviewing. We also help you practice interviewing to further polish your skills and be ready for the real interview. Pages 16 through 19 in your packet outline the resources and services to assist you in getting ready for interviews. Expect to have a short interview at the open floor session for just a few minutes and a longer 30-minute interview during the sit-down interview times. Last but not least is getting your attire ready for the fair. It is not necessary to buy everything new. Borrow from friends or family, but do look professional. If you're planning to purchase new attire, don't wait until the last minute to shop for a new suit, as it may need time for alterations. If you want further information and ideas on professional attire, refer to the link for a more detailed description and recommendations. Now that you've prepared for the fair, you are ready. On Wednesday, plan to take the shuttle to the Minneapolis Convention Center. The shuttle pickup and drop-off locations, as well as the schedule, will be emailed to you a few days prior to the fair. Once you arrive, take the escalators to the lower level and check in at the St. Thomas table to get your name badge and a copy of the employer list and booth layout. Head to the student lounge for the coat check and take some time strategizing the layout and list of employers you're interested in visiting before entering the exhibit hall. What to do? What to say? Once in the lounge, make note of which employers you want to visit and their booth number. If you have done research prior to the fair and have the information with you, write the booth number on the cheat card for each employer for easy reference. Think about which employers are most important for you to visit and plan your time accordingly. Some employers will have long lines, while others will not, so you will need to think about how to use your time. It is important to present a confident approach with the employers. This can be accomplished with eye contact, a firm handshake, and a smile while introducing yourself. This is not a time to have group or team work. You will need to separate from your friends and reconnect with them in the lounge later. When approaching a booth, Use the time in line to review your research note cards and mentally rehearse your 30-second elevator speech. Employers like it when you take the initiative in the conversation, so plan to jump in to your introduction. That leads us to what to say. It is now time to approach the employers to introduce yourself and inquire about possible internships or employment opportunities. Although this can be a stressful situation, preparing in advance what you will say to the employers can eliminate some of your uneasiness. In your packet on page 24 is an outline to help you think ahead of time what you may want to say to each employer. The hook is the part that focuses on what you have to offer the organization. If you aren't sure what your hook is, refer to pages 5 through 9 in the packet to reflect on your interest, skills, and values, as those would be attributes the recruiters would want to hear more about as it relates to their organization and positions. Begin your time at each booth with a quick introduction of yourself. Extend your resume to the employer and expect some question and answer time. Always end with closure, asking for an interview or knowing what the next step is in their hiring process. Collect a business card from each employer you meet with to use as a follow-up for contact information. They may ask you to stop back later to check for an interview schedule. If you will not be at the fair at that time that they are requesting, ask them to give you a call and make sure your contact number is on your resume. Your total time with each recruiter may be only a few minutes. The open floor time is intended to allow you to contact as many employers as possible and for the employers to visit with as many students as possible. Use these bullet points to help you further develop your 30-second elevator speech. An elevator speech is used when introducing yourself to potential employers. You want to highlight your background and experiences to sell yourself as a candidate for a more in-depth interview. Employers want you to take the initiative at the booth to introduce yourself before they ask you questions. This will be a mini synopsis of your most marketable experiences that are related to their organization or positions. Write some bullet points to use as reminders and practice your elevator speech to be more comfortable before attending the fair. Career counselors are available to meet with you for appointments to role play or practice your speech. Call to schedule an appointment time. Ask for an interview. Be assertive when meeting with the employers to know what the next step is in their hiring process. If they're conducting interviews at the fair, express an interest in scheduling an interview time. If they aren't conducting interviews at the fair, tell them you will check back with them at a later date. Ask when a reasonable time might be that they may know of future possible openings. As mentioned previously, collect contact information from each person you meet with to use for a follow-up thank you note and further correspondence. Attending the job and internship fair does not guarantee you will be offered an interview or subsequent position. This is your first step in uncovering opportunities and building your network of contacts for the future. The first step following the fair would be to send a thank you note to those employers you spoke with and express further interest in pursuing opportunities with their organization. Use the names and information you collected about the companies for future reference as you proceed in your search. Key traits of a job intern seeker are patience and persistence. Keep in mind that making contacts at the fair may lead to future opportunities that are yet to be posted. Keep your network alive with phone calls, emails, and notes to keep your name in the forefront of their mind when a position becomes available that would suit your qualifications. Best of luck, and remember to use all the services provided by the Career Development Center to assist you with your search. Please let us know if you have any questions, and good luck at the fair. We remind you that we do schedule appointments and have pop-in hours available for resume and cover letter review, mock interviews, or to practice your elevator speech. Also note the special event Job Fair Insiders Tips will be held on Tuesday, February 11th at noon in the Wolf Alumni Hall. A panel of past participants, students, as well as employers will share their insights about successful preparation for the fair.